Some grits too. You know, you just being real fat. Hey, how you doing today? It's Wellness Wednesday. Wellness Wednesday. What Wellness Wednesday? Today I had a song in my spirit, Lord. Anywho, I am talking about starting journeys today. And I'm really excited because it's something that just always comes up no matter where you're at in life. You're always going to want to forward yourself, keep going. So we're constantly starting new journeys. And a lot of the times I feel like it's so fearful around this time. But I want to give lessons that I have been learning on starting a new journey. And they really go across all journeys, right? Of course, I focus on health because that's what I do. And that's really the journey I'm on to become a healthier me, like in my thoughts, in my ways, in my being, just be healthier. So starting the journey. I this came up because recently I have started a journey and I felt myself fighting it like, and I do this a lot when I start fast or new journeys. I find myself like fighting it. So sometimes I'll like sabotage the situation, or sometimes I'll get emotional, and it's doesn't really click to me, well, hasn't really clicked to me until recently, um, that I even do it. So I've kind of just been, like a little kid acting out, because I'm starting a journey. And so what I've noticed here first is that I have to observe myself in the journey, um, and be in that space and be okay with it. Um, the most fearful part of starting a journey is right before you start, right? Like right before you jump off of something, right before you start something for the new time. Like if you're going live for the first time, the most stress and pressure you're going to feel in starting your new journey on going live is right before you press the button the first time. And that is what I like to call the buildup. So I've talked about pressure here, when we talked about body work, but the buildup is pressure. So it's like a pressurized combustion chamber, and you're like right there, and it's like whoa, 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 right? So I wanted to read the definition of pressure because last time I didn't read this, but preparing for this live, I read about it and I was like, they might be onto something. But pressure is the force applied perpendicular to the surface of an object per unit area over which that force is distributed. So that means like it's coming straight down on your ass, like, you know what I'm saying? It's pressure. It feels intense. Sometimes it can feel like it's tight, but it's a lot of pressure. And when I talked about pressure with the body, doing neuromuscular therapy, I'm an NMT, which like falls under massage therapy. So when I go to help a muscle release, my first thing I do is feel it, and then I apply pressure. The reason being is with a muscle, if you have an area that is, we'll say, a trouble area, and you want it to relax and you want to get rid of the knot, you apply the pressure. And then once you let go on the pressure, the muscle releases. And that's literally the buildup. When you get to that pressure, once you apply the pressure, you let it go. That's you jumping off the cliff. That's you pushing the button for your new live. That's you going to the gym your first time in however long. So when you let up off the pressure, the muscle lets go and it releases. And so that is the release, the moment of the let go, when it's like all the adrenaline's rushing, like you're getting all the good feelings. You're like, this is so amazing. That's right on the other side of the most intense pressure that you will feel in starting the journey. So you feel the pressure, you have the moment of release, and you let go. And there you learn to push past your fears and your discomfort. Because once you let go, once you have that moment of let go, the journey started. Okay? Like that's the moment of like gratitude. Like that's what it's go time. You know what I'm saying? When you actually take that first step, now all you have to do is build momentum, which is very different from starting. So you have this period, every new journey you start, whether it's cooking different, you're starting a new job, you're starting a bike ride, you're starting to walk, you just have to start the journey, and the momentum, it really kind of builds naturally, especially if you bring other people on your journey. Like say for instance, you're like, I'm just gonna learn how to decorate big cakes because for my birthday, I want the biggest cake in the world and I want to create it myself. Okay, cool. When you start your journey of like building your cupcakes and stuff, and you're burning cupcakes and like having to replace things, if you tell people about it, even not even necessarily on social media, but like say you tell your sister about it or your mother about it, they'll be like, oh dang, whatever. But if you allow people to come on the journey with you, it really helps to build momentum, because now it's not just you celebrating. Like you have to celebrate the little wins on the journey, man. You be like, if you're starting to walk and you're like, hey, I'm going to do 1,000 steps every day. If you start on day one and do like 25 steps, that's a big win, because that's more than 0 steps. So celebrate the wins and do it with people. It really helps the activation of the things that you never experienced before. So once you have that let go, you now have activated, you like in there, like you never experienced this, and this thing is activated. Like now you can use it. So in body work, when I help to activate your muscle, what I'm literally doing is reprogramming your mind so that it understands that your body part that we're activating is ready to use. So when I activate glutes, right? Now, in order to walk and have like a real cute, like little balance walk, your glutes need to be a little loose. Now, if you don't know what glutes are, my bad, jargon. Your booty meat. Your booty meat. Don't tell no other neuromuscular therapist I said that. Anyway, so you need your glute muscle in order to walk. So when you activate it, like you can literally feel your core, everything goes like this, and you be walking like, okay, like I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ready to go. All you got to do is activate it. So once you're let go and the pressure has subsided, the fear has subsided, that is that state where you're in activation mode. And so while you're activating things, we do have to understand that activation is not always pretty. Okay. Like when you start journeys, the beginning, sometimes it get a little murky. You know what I'm saying? Like you're excited, you have the most adrenaline, like all the feel good feelings. And I believe that we're giving that naturally because we're going to have to go through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about when you change your habits, your eating habits, right? When you start changing your habits, your body literally goes through like a detox, right? Like it has to let go. Remember, let go. So detox is not necessarily the funnest thing. Sometimes when you detox, you can be cool. Other times when you detox, it can feel like the flu hit you. You'll be down and out. You may have headaches. You may be going to the bathroom more. You may, there's a lot of things that can happen when you detox. And it's not the prettiest. It's like that murky phase. When you start working out and you start activating muscles, there's going to be times when you feel sore. You feel like you ain't got no mobility the next day. So this is activation. When you're in like that phase, when you're like, okay, I'm going to start doing it. And then when you do it and shit gets real, like right on the other side when shit get real, that's when you're activating. And through the activation, we are training our body that, hey, you're ready to be used. And now I'm going to use you. And if you can go back to the muscle, once your muscle is activated, you good. You just got to keep it up. So even someone who, for instance, goes to the gym regular, if they stop going to the gym for 3 months, 6 months, even a year, 2 years, it's going to feel a lot better when they go back than someone who just never has went to the gym. Like if someone's never worked out a day in their life, their activation stage is murky. Okay. Like it's no way around it. You can help yourself around it, but it's just once you start the journey and you commit to it, even if you fall off, your body is trained. Like it's the same thing. Like I see athletes all the time, people who are like amazing athletes when they're in high school, they're in college, and they get big. Now, y'all, I'm talking about big. Like I've seen some, like, you ain't play no football, you know what I'm saying? But they get really big, and as soon as they get back on the field, it's amazing. It's go time. Your body remembers. It's just like if wait a while for the bicycle. When you get back on, it might be a little, you know what I'm saying? You be like, oh, but then you get on it and you ride the bike again. So it's the same thing when you start any of your journeys. Just continue and get your body used to it, your brain used to it, and that's what it is now. So when you start the journey, even if you don't quote unquote finish it, you're training yourself to even be accepting to those situations. So now my body's accepting to riding a bike because I started the journey, even if I only go once every 2 weeks or sometimes once a month. But it's okay because I started the journey. My body's in there. So that's how all of it really starts. Like you started, you get past that little mark, and it's like your life has changed forever, sis. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? So that even works in mindset. Now, my mindset journey has, I don't know. I think the changing of mindset is my journey that I have to be kind to myself a lot, because when you learn a new way of thinking, it's almost like, how could I ever think that? Like you're just like it almost floors you sometimes. Like when I realized a lot of my mindset that I needed to change, it really kind of made me feel bad about myself. So I'm still working through a lot of mindset shifts, but starting the journey in the mind is very, very, very important, a very interesting journey, because you have to go within self. And I think that's why I like to look at health holistically, because you have to remember that when you start on any one journey, it does expand you to other journeys. So just like when I was talking about having your let go muscle and making it strong, like that's the same muscle that you're strengthening really to start a journey, because you're creating this pattern within yourself that makes it okay. Like the more journeys you start, the more you're like, okay, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like the more you try new things or connect with what makes you happy, it's like a ball of snow. It just gets bigger and bigger and more powerful. So whatever journey you've been itching to start, make sure you start it. You know what I'm saying? Going back to mindset, I wanted to take an example out of a book I'm currently reading. It's a little real up in here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I'm reading The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker, right? And it's taken me a long time to read this. I'm not gonna lie, because this is what I was talking about with mindset. I find that a lot of times in mindset is like, you get like, oh, like I'd rather just learn how to cook or something. But it's important, and the more I learn, the more self-aware I become. And as I become self-aware, it's a total game changer. This book really talks about like why your ass is broke. Like, because $1 million minds are a mindset. It's not a bank account number. It's literally your mind. Like, are you a millionaire here? Are you broke? And it goes over so many examples. Like one of the biggest ones for me was that I didn't realize that every time I saw someone who exuded money or like had things that cost a lot, I had a negative thought in my mind about that. Every time I saw it, I was like, well, people with money, they suck. Like, you probably had to do bad things to get that money. But it's like, if you think that people with money are bad people, you don't want to be a bad person. So why would you ever have money? Like, you know what I'm saying? So he busted that up on me in here, and I was like, so I'm being a broke bitch. It really made me feel like, oh, okay, I see. But when you're surrounded in an environment and you sometimes you don't even know your mindset needs to be changed until you start that journey, you know. So that is and what that looks like. So I was talking about changing your eating habits. Sometimes when you activate, you detox. When you start to work out, when you activate, your muscles activate, you get sore. When you change your mindset, the activation of mindset is a shift in perspective. So you just not even looking at stuff the same. You're gonna view yourself different. You're gonna view the people around you different. You're gonna view the things that you do different. Like if you change your mindset on money, your money is gonna look different. And just by way of your money looking different, everything around you is gonna look different. Now, with me, I thought that meant like, oh, well, then I'll have to get a Rolls Royce or, all these things that I didn't really want because I'm just not into it. Not because, I like things of high quality. Like I have a Cannondale bike. You know what I'm saying? Like I like high quality things, but I'm not into this whole like situation where it's like money looks like this. And so I had to, in changing my mindset, I had to realize that me having money looks like whatever the hell I want it to, and so that has allowed me to be accepting into all this money that is coming into my life. I love it. I'm ready. But I had to shift, and I see it. My life is shifting as my perception shifts. So don't be coming up in here asking to start no journey on shifting your mind and think everything's gonna look the same. But I mean, and that's with when you start new journeys in general, like your perception on whatever you're doing is gonna shift, and it will shift everything around you. And I think that's a lot of the fear around starting a new journey is that fear of change. But if you understand why you want to start a new journey, it's because you want to change. It's because you want to change how you feel. You want to change some results. You want to change how you feel about yourself. I don't want to say yourself. I mean, yeah, you want to change yourself. I wanted to change myself, not the core of who I was, but I wanted to change how that showed up. So big difference. So yeah, all that mushy stuff. I want to talk about helping yourself through starting the journey. Like be kind to yourself while you're on the journey. Sip. I'm drinking kombucha. I got a SCOBY, but I haven't made it yet. I always do this. I always come up on SCOBYs and then just wait because fear of starting a new journey. I've never brewed kombucha. This was actually great timing, guys. So yeah, I've never brewed kombucha successfully. I've done it twice. Every time I learn something, I feel like this time I'm definitely going to do it and it's going to be a lot better. But the SCOBY's been over there sitting for a minute now. And I'm just like, you know what? We're going to get to it when we do. And I'm going to just be kind to myself about it. But that is starting a new journey, which I have started. And my momentum's getting there, but it's still murky. I'm still activating the muscle of the kombucha. Anyway, be kind to yourself. So when I am starting a journey, that is a perfect time for me to make sure that I'm loving myself. Journeys can be long, strenuous, unexpected sometimes. Journeys can be so unexpected. Like, y'all ever had something happen where it's like y'all just show up and one day shit's just different? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just show up to work and like you got a new manager, or like you show up to someone's house, or you show up to the day and that day someone transcends. Like things sometimes just like, and we're like sent on a new journey. And one of the things I feel like, whether it's subconscious or not, or I started the journey myself or it was spring upon me, the moment of pressure and stress is when I typically go AWOL. And I'm like, I just want fried food and no, I don't want to meditate. But when you are in journey mode, and I mean, we're always in journey mode, but specifically when you're starting new journeys, when something has changed within you to resonate for you to start something new, something's been put on you to start something new. Being a parent, hell of a journey, okay? So you just start a new journey, it's all the same, but you have to remember to take care of yourself. You have to remember to rest. It doesn't matter. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, y'all. Sometimes it just feels like you have to have it all done all today. You don't have time. I feel like that too. But we have to rest. Take naps is important. I don't know if I've said this before, but even when I don't have time to take a nap, I will lay down in my bed for 10 minutes and, excuse me, the kombucha, Lord. For 10 minutes and just listen to Sleep Hurts. Sleep Hurts will take you, that's Hertz. If you YouTube it, you'll see it, Sleep Hurts. Sleep Hurts will take a 10-minute nap. And if you listen to it and just doze off to sleep for 10 minutes, oh my God, you're going to wake up and feel like the whole world is brand new. So that's like a little hack I do there. Get you a bedtime routine. Babies, turn off the TV and the laptop. And take your ass to bed. Make your environment dark to have bedtime be more appropriate, and also nap time. Darkness is essential to sleep. The absence of light actually sends a critical signal to your body and your brain, and it tells it right now it's time to rest. That's why if you take a baby and put them in a dark environment, they're more apt to fall asleep for the most part, because some of y'all got kids who be on other stuff. They be doing other things. So, all babies don't necessarily like dark. So most of the time though, most people, the majority of people, when you get in a dark environment, it's why it's so easy. Hey, Tip made it. It's so easy to fall asleep in the theater, the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? It's dark. So make sure you're dark. Not you're dark, but your room is dark. Try to do just how when you wake up, you do sun salutation. There's moon salutation. So do a little yoga before bed can definitely help sleep. It really helps. Like the best sleep I've had in my life. Taking a shower, a bath before you go to sleep. And I'm not even talking about necessarily nighttime. Sometimes if you just need to bust a nap in, if you can bust in a shower, that may help soothe you. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to put some stuff together on the list and make it happen so that you can get your nap or your sleep at night. Teas and herbs that help. Chamomile and lavender. Most people know those. Now, Damiana, y'all, she gonna get you relaxed. Damiana makes you feel like, okay, cool. Like you're still here, but you're cool. Now, Skullcap is very similar to Damiana. Skullcap, Scullcap. I think I spelled that right. I feel like there's a K in it. Skullcap. One of my favorites though, specifically for bedtime, now I would not use this for a nap, valerian root. Valerian root. Valerian root, it simmers your ass down on a neurological level. So you gonna go from like here, Damiana's gonna put you here, valerian root gonna have you here. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna feel high or nothing, but it really helps relax your nerves. I love valerian root before I go to bed. Motion is lotion. So when you're on your journey, make sure you move. If it ain't just a walk outside, take your ass outside. Go move. And even if it's not outside, maybe you can't make it outside. Move in your house. Walk around, do a few things, do some yoga. Motion is lotion. So the more motion you are in your journey, the smoother it'll go. Keep your ass hydrated because your body feels the stress of the journey, which is why you got to move. And when you hydrate, you're letting your body flow through it and it's not feeling it as much. Clear your mind because you already know when you want a new journey, your mind will tell you a lot of bullshit. It'll be like, oh, well, you trying to fix vegetables. Well, this don't even taste right. You be going and running. And you be like, well, you ain't even lost no weight. So why you running anyway? You be talking about, oh, I'm going to start riding the bike. And you be like, dang, you can't even get up this hill. Why don't you get off the bike and walk it? Your brain will have you all over the place, okay? All over the place. So settle it down. When you're on your journey, meditate. If you take a couple of seconds and just take 3 deep breaths every now and then in a day. I feel like I should have did that in the beginning of the video because I feel relaxed. But it works. Just breathe, 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 breathe. Okay? So clear your mind, take some breaths. Make sure that you understand that you got to take all the journey one step at a time. Journeys don't. When the last time somebody got pregnant and birthed the baby the next day? If they did, send them to my inbox, please, because that do not happen. It's a whole journey, okay? From the time the baby come out to the time they have an old till whenever. It's just a whole life journey with them things. But I love the babies, so I do love the babies. So take it one step at a time. One thing that I like to do with projects and journeys is, okay, so if I want to start a journey, I want to start riding a bike. Right now, I feel tired, real sore, and sometimes I feel weak, but I want to feel strong and be able to ride 20 miles. So that's my A and my Z. And I do some steps in between there. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 6, but put some major steps in between there, 5 miles, over around the neighborhood ride, you know what I'm saying? Amount of time that I need to ride. So I take the journey, break it down into steps. So if you got 6 things in between A and Z, you got 6-step process to your journey. I know it seems like a weird way sometimes, but that's just how I break it down. And I don't necessarily follow 1, 2, 3, 4 to A to Z, but it really helps me feel like, okay, this is not overwhelming. I got 6 steps to my journey. And I'm doing step number 1. Well, I did this, and that could be like step number 3. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to piece it together, but knowing that it's not this big, massive thing that you have to conquer, it really helps. And also know your limits. Don't hurt yourself. Don't push yourself too much. When you first start out in the gym, if your trainer is like, oh, you need to do 20 reps, but you're not trying to pass 10, don't pass 10. Okay? Know your limits. Just because somebody calls you something or says something about you because you're not at their limits, fuck them. They not on your journey. They on their journey. And maybe their journey requires 75 pounds to lift. And maybe your journey right now is at 5. And that's cool. Don't never let where you at, push you to where it's too much where you hurting yourself. Because sometimes we push ourselves to the point of pain. Like if you ain't sleeping, you might be pushing yourself too much. You know what I'm saying? So don't know your limits, but don't let nobody push you over them. Okay? So that is what I am using currently to help me through my journey. It is an amazing journey. Be grateful. Ooh. How am I gonna forget that? Through your journey, be grateful. Be in gratitude. Be grateful for what you got right here, right now. Be grateful for the journey that you are on. Be grateful that you were chosen and you answered the call. Okay? Be grateful. You could be anywhere else. You could be where you was 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And your mind, your body, your thoughts could be different. So be grateful through all of your journey. I wanted to end it with an excerpt from my book. Y'all, this is a great book. I am not getting paid for this. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I love it because it is a shift in mindset. All right. So I'm reading out of this book. It's page 172. It talks about your comfort zone. Nobody ever died of discomfort, yet living in the name of comfort has killed more ideas, more opportunities, more actions, and more growth than everything else combined. Comfort kills. If your goal in life is to be comfortable, I guarantee two things. First, you will never be rich. Second, you will never be happy. Happiness does not come from the living a lukewarm life, always wondering what could have been. Happiness comes as a result of being in our natural state of growth and living up to our fullest potential. Try this. The next time you are feeling uncomfortable, uncertain, or afraid, instead of shrinking and retreating back to safety, press your ass forward. Notice and experience the feelings of discomfort, recognizing that they are only feelings and that they do not have the power to stop you. And that they do not have the power to stop you. If you continue in spite of discomfort, you will eventually reach your goal. That's it. Press forward, start your journey, and reach your goal. I'm here for it. I'm excited. And be grateful while you're doing it. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in with me for another Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you. All right, guys. I will be back next week at the same time. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you again next week. Peace.